Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm with Richard Tucker, the MD of Relocation Agent Network. Richard, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Chris.
Tell me a bit about Relocation Agent Network and what it can do for estate agents. Talk to me.
Relocation Agent Network, we drive referral leads to our members. They drive referral leads to each other. That equals additional revenue.
Okay.
We provide a lot of online and face-to-face training to our members from a customer service perspective to help them make the most of the referral opportunity. We also have a number of incentive schemes in place that drive referrals around the network. It's a bit of fun. There's a bit of peer pressure, but our members get money on a monthly basis, and then we have a big prize at our annual conference.
So what do these referrals look like?
They're essentially buyers and sellers who are moving in and out of their current areas. So our members are spotting those opportunities and then passing them through our system to their fellow network colleagues.
But surely that system's redundant now. The likes of Rightmove are around. You know, anyone can look for a property there. Is there a need for this?
It's when the customer gets into the agent's environment, essentially. Key thing for us is qualifying those leads. So whether they're coming from Rightmove or on the market or Zoopla, our members, we train them very hard to spot the referral opportunity that they are moving in or out of my area, and to think Relocation Agent Network opportunity.
And is it just buyers coming one way, or is it back the other way where someone's looking, let's say I'm in Swindon.
It's both ways.
I mean, let's be frank, although the market's toughening at the moment, decent buyers, is it all buyers, or is there plenty of seller leads? Because that's what we want as estate agents.
Yeah, essentially, if I'm our member, Cartus in Swindon, sending a buyer or applicant referral to our member Dawson's down in Swansea, I'm likely to be trying to get the customer's property in Swindon to sell.
Okay.
So essentially, Dawson's looking after that buyer as a round referral will help to start connecting the quality of the network, the fact that it's emphasising I'm in a national network, that we're driving qualified buyers and sellers to each other. It impresses the Swindon customer, they list their property with Castles.
But surely then you're passing the responsibility, or part of the responsibility, of making yourself look good to a fellow RAM member. How do you know that other agent, in this instance Swansea's, going to do you good?
That's a key point. And that's one of the main principles of our network and our network selection, that we select and bring on board and train our members to make sure that they will deal with that customer in the right way, because there's a lot riding on it for the sending agent, for the sending member.
So it's not just you're not just an organisation that takes anyone. No. I mean, what sort of hoops do people have to jump through as an agent to become a RAM member? I mean, I assume it's as many members as possible per town, is it?
It's a sole appointment.
Also, one agent per town?
Yes.
Okay.
And the selection criteria is essentially looking at their market share. We often do a mystery shop. We talk to neighbouring members. We will go and see those agents. If we like the cut of their jib and they like the cut of our jib, we'll invite them to Swindon, where our HQ is based. If they're coming from a distance, we'll put them up for the evening. I'll have dinner with them. They'll come into Swindon and we'll put them through a morning's, what we call pipeline recruitment seminar. We get to know each other. We're starting to really drill down on looking each other in the eyes, getting a feel for us clearly, looking at Cartus in terms of our business setup, and meet the network team, and putting them through the principles of the network. We get to know those agents better, and essentially we'll also invite the whole team, as far as that agent's company is concerned, to come to Swindon if they'd like to. But it's a series of steps, Chris. So we get to that point.
So it's
where
not just about the money and the membership fee?
No.
How much is that, by the way?
It's very economical. It's if I answer that question in terms of return on investment, as far as their membership fee is concerned, A typical member will make something like 1.3 ROI on their membership fee in relation to the referral income that they can generate, but our really flying members can make up to 7-8 ROI on their membership fee in terms of referral revenue.
But are we talking thousands of pounds a month here or hundreds of pounds?
Depends on their market share. Essentially, if you're a multi-branch company, we will carve out a geographic sector, and we will charge in terms of opportunity value.
Okay. So really, you're an affiliate organisation, similar, I can say these names, the Guild, Land and Homes New Network, Property Academy, those sort of organisations. Is there a true value, apart from a few leads being sent every couple of months?
As far as Relocation Agent Network is concerned, there's a very true value. And as I mentioned, in terms of their return on investment with regards to their membership fee, we know that any of our members are not charitable organisations. They're not paying us a fee because they think we're great people, which we are. But they...
Because if you don't mind me saying, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love in the network for you guys. You know, I couldn't stop Nathan Emerson, who is very well thought of in the industry, Simon Bradbury, waxing lyrical about you. If you don't mind me saying, you kind of hide your light under a bushel, don't you? Is that a good thing?
You have pointed that out, Chris, and you may be right.
It's not a criticism.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm not taking it as a criticism, and it's probably a subconscious output of the fact that we select our members. We don't typically advertise for new members. Our average tenure of member is 13 years.
Wow, that's
so
old. So they wouldn't be paying you all that money if they didn't think it, because you know what estate agents are like.
I do. I was one for a long time, and as I've said, they're not charitable organisations, and so we work very hard to build a relationship that is mutually beneficial. But there's a huge amount of trust involved in our network because of the referral platform, where members are passing a customer or a potential customer to another network member. They have to know that our selection process is spot on,
and especially
so there's a lot of trust there.
Especially if the lead has come from a valuation that, because let's be honest, probably most of your leads are going to be coming from that. You're not going to pass someone on to a what would be frank is a sister estate agent if they're going to mess it up for you, are they?
You're not.
Especially if you say we're part of this RAN network and they mess it up, it's not going to be good for you, is it?
We have a lot on the line with regards to our reputation, our selection process, our training, and you mentioned the love for that. That positive vibe that you have felt from other members. It's because it works, and we're extremely proud of the network. You know, this is a 24/7 organisation for us in terms of my team. You know, and I've made reference to and you have too, that our members are not charitable organisations, so they're not paying us a fee just because they like us. But something that we were incredibly proud of is that we, a couple of years ago, were voted by our members, and we won the Best Supplier at Property Academy Award Gold Standard. And then the following year, again, we won the Silver Standard Award from the Property Academy. And for us, that says it all, that we're voted for by our members. So you can't rig that. And it was a real compliment for us. We are a true network. So the mutual trust supports the referral element, the passing of customers, the regional meetings, the fraternity aspect is a big part of what we do.
Let's just come on to that in a second.
Okay.
If you don't mind me saying, I just thought you guys were just an organisation to pass leads to each other, but it's just come to me now that the organisation is you passing a buyer lead to someone else in the country is not for you to try and earn money from that person buying elsewhere. It is actually to help you get the listing.
Spot on.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's. I've just realised that. That is what RAM is about. It is about help another agent helping you get your listing by making you and them and the network look brilliant.
Spot on.
Talk to me about this fraternity thing. That's a word that we don't often hear in this world today. What does that look like?
And we can't think of a better label for what fraternity means to us. And essentially, the physical demonstration of that are our quarterly regional meetings. We have at the moment about 600 offices in the network. That's about 160 companies.
So that works out at about 4 offices per agent. That means that you're dealing with big agents with big networks. They don't. These guys, you know, your Mark Mannings of this world, your Pygott and Crones of this world. They don't suffer fools gladly.
No, they don't.
They certainly don't.
No, they don't. And I know the people that run both of those companies been with us for quite some time. Fantastic companies. I mean, they're really good examples of classic RAN members. But to answer your question, we get our members together.
Let's bring back to the fraternal thing.
Yeah, I mean, the network, we regionalise it. So we have 16 regions on the network, and we get those regions together on a quarterly basis. So the fraternity essentially is the agenda is whatever they want to talk about, but it's very much sharing best practice. And because they're largely not non-competing, they're very happy to share whatever knowledge they have, whatever experience. Because of the selection process that we go through, we make sure that every agent sitting around that table is of high caliber. Estate agents can smell weakness, like sharks can smell blood in the water if somebody's giving them that and it doesn't have any substance, and we cannot have any of that. Our whole principle falls apart if that kind of thing happens. So regional meetings is a big element for us in terms of fraternity.
So really what you're saying is that you're, as an estate agent, you are going into a room with competitors who are not direct competitors, who are playing at the big boys table, a bit like you know, because let's be frank, you're not going to accept people, how can I say, at the lower end. I say that humbly and nicely. You know, decent market share, been around a while. You're sitting at the table with equals. You know, kings speak to kings. That's what you're telling me is what RAM is all about.
It is largely about that, but I would just
because you can then swap ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just qualify one thing that you mentioned, that in terms of, you know, our business needs to evolve, and we're very happy to talk to companies that haven't been in existence that long.
Okay.
You know, we love to get fresh blood into the network.
So it's all about attitude. Is that what you're telling me?
It's a big part of it. When I'm talking to potential members, one of the key things that we talk about is networking opportunity. We built, back in the day, a network of fantastic agents. But of course, the double-edged sword of that is that if I'm a really good agent with really good market share in my local patch, why do I need to be in a network? So we learned some interesting lessons along the years, and so we again look each other in the eyes in terms of RAN and the people that we're looking to bring onto the network to really establish, are you up for networking? We will do absolutely everything we can from a training point of view, from our marketing material perspective, as I mentioned. If you want to bring your whole team into Swindon, we're very happy to do that, but you have to understand that we want you to network.
What retribution or accountability is there if some agent talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk with regard to networking and playing their part of the game?
I think that's a discussion that probably sorts itself out eventually. If somebody's not using the network, they're not making the money out of it that they need to.
It almost becomes self-selecting.
Well, we're not making the money out of it we need to, but very importantly, fellow members. You know, the network is a dynamic organisation, and those referrals need to keep flowing for everybody to play their part. If somebody doesn't, then there's a weakness there.
Would it be fair to say that the more you put in, the more you get out? with Ran?
Absolutely. That's probably above the door. That's the flashing lights message.
Is there anything else that you want to share with me that makes Ran so good to estate agents in the UK?
The training that we put out a lot in terms of face-to-face. My colleague Errol Dyer, who's our national training manager, spends a lot of time in the car. Now that clearly is not that efficient.
If it's face-to-face?
There's only one, but he does a lot of face-to-face training. Certainly when we bring a new member on, we'll do a full induction, and Errol will spend a day or two, however long, with that company. He will do regional training. He will go to companies to do refresher training. Whatever they need, we'll do it. But we've also developed a whole suite of online training that members can plug into with Errol, again, at various levels. Because, again, we've learnt our lessons over the years that you bring a member on, we've got to fly with them. We're not a corporate. We're not going to be dropping in every 5 minutes looking at their metrics reports, but we know we need to complement them. We need to be alongside them as necessary to make sure that they're getting the most out of the network.
And what do you do differently to the likes of the Guild and other affiliate organisations?
I think we play to our strengths. We are not trying to be all things to all people, and I'm not suggesting those other networks do, but they play to their strengths. You know, they have their own.
Because correct me if I'm wrong,
USPs.
there are actually quite a few of your members that are also Guild members as well.
Yes.
So, and the people that are in both camps don't suffer fools gladly.
No.
So they must think it's worth their while in being in both camps. So really, you've got to look at both and see. And other ones are available. We've got the new one, the FLIA that's coming up with Graham Locke, and others are available. Basically, what you're telling me is this: RAN is great because you've got referrals. It will help you get more listings because you are referring other people to make you look brilliant. You've got a fraternal relationship, as in you are able to share your hopes, fears, and dreams with competitor agents who are not direct competitors, and you offer training, guidance, and support. Sounds priceless. Where do I sign up?
I've got a contract in the car.
I'm not an agent. Boys and girls, Richard has not paid me to do this video, but when the likes of Simon Bradbury and Nathan Emerson said you really need to talk with Richard, I invited him up to the studio, and he's here, hasn't spent a penny for me to do these videos. I just thought it would be really interesting for the world for me to interview you, Richard. You've been absolutely fascinating. We're going to do some more videos separately, so please check those out on my YouTube video. But you've been very insightful, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.